Yes, it is the same day as well from both the reaction videos. What is up, my McLaren? Is Cam238, and we're here with another day Alpha video. Your unpopular Jack Ratchet and Sly opinions. Oh, I would not like this, but let's see if I agree with this or not. Let's just go ahead and react to this.
Weeks ago, I asked you guys for your most unpopular Jack, Ratchet, and Sly opinions, and you guys absolutely delivered with around 200 responses. So in this video, I'm going to go through a handful of those takes and give you my thoughts. And I just want to say thank you for all of the
Oh
support
shit!
on these videos. Trying to
Hey,
keep up.
this is my first time seeing his face. Yo, what's up, Dan? Okay, cool. What a handsome man. All right. I'm just surprised. I did not expect to see Dan face like that. I thought he'd be the type of YouTuber to not like show his face to like I don't know see his successor or something like that. I don't really know. But hey, your face, Dan.
Up with a video schedule alongside full-time work has been tough, but I really do appreciate all of the support.
Are you British?
Okay, and starting with this one, Jack and Daxter is so boring. I put it down after 20 minutes and never played it again. And just
What a
for my
loser.
own
I like
sanity,
the
I
PS2
actually
back.
played
Please do you got
20
any
minutes
background
of Jack and Daxter, and I'm assuming he means the first one, the Precursor Legacy. And I got through all of the cutscenes, the tutorial level, and also the first quarter maybe of the Forbidden Jungle, so the first level. But I would think that if you were playing it for the first time, you wouldn't get as far as I did when like someone who's played it before. And this really kind of just reminds me of that meme of that guy who's digging for diamonds, and
Yeah.
he's almost there, but he starts to turn around at the last second. But yeah, genuinely, I think this is a pretty unpopular opinion. I mean, at least play for 30 minutes or maybe 25. I don't know.
Like for an
The
hour.
first Ratchet and Clank is really not fun to play because of the movement. It's not just in combat because of the lack of strafing, but the entire game feels sluggish with Ratchet's slow acceleration, turning, and wrench animations. They made it feel so much better in the future that I couldn't even finish the original. Yeah, this is probably half and half.
I ain't gonna lie,
Popular
I ain't
and
mad at that
unpopular
response.
opinion. The
I
popular
ain't mad at that
opinion part
response.
would be the movement. And look, my comments that I had from other videos are definitely divided here. A lot of people really liked
the
the
game
movement
is
in Ratchet
fun.
and Clank and thought it added a lot of depth. And
It just
I
he
enjoyed
Ratchet
the
runs
strafing.
slow.
I feel like it
He
made it more
runs slow.
entertaining, a lot more easy to play. But I definitely think
Nobody
saying
sorry.
that you couldn't even finish the original just because there's no strafing, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I think
Yeah.
the game overall is fantastic, and I wouldn't let the lack of strafing stop you from playing it. I think that
Yeah,
you should
it
finish
just-
it. Like,
right.
don't just
You
don't
finish
just give
it.
up hope.
Don't give up.
And
I mean,
this is
he's
from someone with a rift
Oh.
apart profile picture, and they say the Sly trilogy is a huge step down from Ratchet and Jack ones. Level design is so bad, everything feels slow and scripted. The graphics are almost what we call anime these days. Tried all 3 Sly games, and it's overrated as hell. Really wish I never completed them. Okay, I'm 100% going to have to disagree
Yes,
with you
I
here. I
disagree.
had a lot of fun with the Sly games.
disagree.
I will agree with you that some sections of Sly Cooper feel a bit too scripted. For example, in the first game, I feel like I was stopped by Bentley every 2 seconds for him to explain how to do something. But outside of that, I don't think that the game is overrated. I think that it's
Right,
perfectly
thank
rated.
you.
If you saw my tier list video, I really think that these games mesh in well with the other two. I think that they are really, they're still really solid games. I wouldn't just say
Dang.
that they're overrated. Never
That dude
play
just
them.
gave
They're not
up.
as good
They ended right
as
there.
Ratchet and Jack. Definitely give them a
I
go.
think damn
I
blame
think that this
type of
is
game.
an unpopular opinion.
Oh.
I hate all caps when Jack 3 players
Oh,
complain
all cap,
about the
okay.
gunplay balancing. These guns are there for you to choose from. Yes, you could play with the overpowered beam reflector the entire game, but you don't have to. Make your own fun and difficulty. That is the underrated quality of Jack 3. It's a playground, set yourself a challenge. I kind of spent a bit of time thinking about this one. I partially agree with you and I partially disagree with you. Where I agree with you was when I was young, I did have a lot of fun picking random guns and
Yeah.
Dark Jack challenges and just playing the games over and over again. I really did enjoy that. And I think that is a quality of Jack 3 to do that. Where I think I disagree with you is the beam reflector. It's not like the gun itself is just a little better than all of the other guns. It is hilariously overpowered compared to every other gun in the game. It does
Yeah.
every other gun's job 10 times better in basically every situation. I don't think that it is a bad thing to complain that they made a mistake with the gun balancing in the game. I understand what you're saying with pick other guns because it's fun. I understand both sides. But I feel like if they made the beam reflector less overpowered, it would have forced you to use other weapons in the game. So I consider Ratchet 3 to be the worst in the trilogy because of the lack of exploration,
Giant Crayfish
or diverging
28
paths on
says, "Shut
planets,
up."
and the missions that are basically just
It's your
multiplayer
opinion,
maps where you have to do
but
the
it's
same
unpopular.
thing over and over like 4 times. Okay, I'm gonna have to disagree with you here, saying that Ratchet 3 is the worst in the trilogy just because of the lack of diverging paths on planets and like exploration and stuff. I think that the levels were built more around the weapons part of the game. It wasn't just platforming this time. They were leaning heavier to that side, which I think it does depend on what you like. I really enjoyed the weapons and the combat inside of Ratchet and Clank and like the progression that came along with that. I thought that was way better than what it was in Ratchet and Clank 2. But I will agree with you that having a lack of diverse planets, if that's the words that I'm looking for, absolutely does let it down. Playing multiplayer maps over and over again did get a little repetitive, but I feel like it's good when you're trying to save up bolts or level up weapons. I enjoyed that part of the game. This one is pretty long, so I'm just going to put it up on the screen and you can pause it. But I did want to just kind of go in and talk about a couple of things. Put up on the screen.
All right, before people kill me for this, just know that I love Sly Cooper. I have beaten the original trilogy at least 4 times, not bad. But he asked Sly Cooper body counts consists of a lot of things that people usually hate about games. Like everything you had to do is explained to you by Bentley when you usually play prefer not to be handheld, or it's not that replayable, or no matter how much player loves the clue bottles, they don't give you much when you get them, especially in 2 or 3. Sometimes they're useful, not usually. Yes, they help you get your bars on the world, but I argue that the level design is strong enough that they are neat. That I never got lost in 3, just say, but the way this game is structured makes some of these issues work. It makes the games more unique. I ain't gonna lie, out of Justin's head. I actually like it when I talk to Bentley or Murray or Sly, like to like give me missions, give me like what I had to do for this mission, or the reaction would be when they doing it, when they tell you the mission, or if they are doing the mission. I like that. I do like that. I do want to know like what to do everything, so I don't get lost. I don't. I mean, Slide 3. I got lost. I don't know. I was a kid. I did not know about. I did not know I could like climb up the freaking tower thing to go in the police headquarters in Italy. I was confused on that. But that's your opinion, your unpopular opinion. But I disagree with you. I disagree. Let's see what they say.
Screen and you can pause it. But I did want to just kind of go in and talk about a couple of things. Like I said in the previous point, there definitely is a lot of hand-holding by Bentley in the Sly games.
Yeah,
I found that really frustrating. I won't really go back into it that much. But what he had to say with the clue bottles, I think I actually kind of agree with. They didn't do crazy amounts. You unlock like moves with them, but they weren't all that necessary for the game. It might have bloated it out a little bit. But I'm not going to say that they shouldn't have been in the game. I think that they
I feel
were
like
a
people
good
were
collectible
mad
to have
that
in
they
the
were
game
the clue
still.
bottles
And
like
I
a
do
Slide
think he's
3.
right with saying that the level design, especially in Sly 2, is strong enough to not have the clue bottles to encourage exploration. I think that the levels themselves are interesting enough for you to explore without the clue bottles. But I'm not going to say that either one is correct or incorrect. I do think that it's probably an unpopular opinion to say that they shouldn't have been in the game, because I think it's a bit of a staple
I think
of
it
Sly
should be in the
Cooper
game, in
is
my
the
opinion.
clue bottles.
I like the clue bottle. I
Jak
like
2 is
exploring
Naughty
and
Dog's
fighting.
most influential game. It was their first real attempt at telling a compelling story, and it was the beginning in their shift towards narrative focuses in their titles. Without it, we probably wouldn't have had Uncharted or The Last of Us. Now, this one, I am on the fence again. I agree in some parts and I disagree in others. Saying Jak 2 is their most influential game, Naughty Dog's most influential game, is a bit of a stretch, maybe.
It is.
I would probably say Naughty Dog's most influential game is probably
Uncharted.
one of those really popular ones like The Last of Us or something like that.
The last,
But I understand what you're saying.
Well, okay, yeah, I agree. Last of Us Part One and Part Two won the Game of the Year, 2013, 2020. But there's also Uncharted 2, and Uncharted 2 was one of the best game of 2009. So I gotta say Uncharted for this right here. I agree with The Last of Us. I agree with The Last of Us, but it's a love to Uncharted because Uncharted was one of their most popular game series all time, especially Uncharted 2. So yeah, yeah, that's my opinion.
Jak 2 was their first
Jack
kind
2
of real
being the most
narrative story.
influential,
Jak
no.
1 really wasn't a narrative story, and Crash Bandicoot, there wasn't really much of a narrative there. There was,
Yeah,
but
Crash
it wasn't
Bandicoot
very
really
deep.
was
Also
like,
saying that we wouldn't have had Uncharted or The Last
yeah,
of Us without Jak 2 is also a bit of a stretch. From what
yeah,
I know, they tried to make Jak 4, but it didn't
yeah.
work out because they wanted to go down the realistic path anyway. So we would have gotten a game
I'm not mad at that too
similar
either.
to Uncharted or The Last of Us either way if they'd never made Jak 2 the way it was. I don't think saying that without Jak 2 there wouldn't have been Uncharted or The Last of Us. I think that's a bit of a stretch. Ratchet
Uh,
1's arrogant and cocky personality was way better than any future Ratchet games depictions, and better than any Jak or Sly personality. I find the others to be good to great, but sometimes a little too vanilla and generic. Ratchet 1's personality was a lot more entertaining and showed genuine growth by the end of the game, in my opinion. I would say that Ratchet's personality in the first game, 100% I think is better, and I don't think that that's an unpopular opinion to
I
have.
mean, it's
He
not
definitely
unpopular.
has more growth as a Lombax, I guess, not as
He
I was going to
did.
say a
He
person, but he
did.
has more growth as a person or personality with actual genuine flaws, and it does make
Like he was a good, cool person when you first saw Ratchet. He like the way he talked, the way how chill he is, how what's his vibe is, everything like that. But the one time Mike did not know Captain Cole was a bad guy the whole time, Ratchet to be mad at him the whole game, like the whole half of the game. It's like golly. Until he got to like realize that Clank is always right. Like Clank is always right, of course. It's Ratchet, he literally pissed me off when I first played this game. Like, golly, like leave Clank alone. He didn't know. He may be a smart robot, but come on, he could be dumb like you too, Ratchet. It's okay,
it makes him a compelling character. Where I
right?
would disagree here is the fact that he is better than Jak or Sly's personality. I think it would be really hard and probably a whole different video talking about the personality of these characters. I would
Yeah.
agree with you with Jak 1. He didn't have a personality. It was basically Daxter. But by Jak
Yes,
2 and then Jak 3, he really was his own character. But I
right.
actually really enjoyed Sly's personality. I really
Yes.
thought he was really cool, kind of like these suave, cocky personality. I think it suited that game and that character to a T. So I wouldn't say that Ratchet 1's is better than the other two. I will agree with you and say that the future depictions of Ratchet, even in the PS2 trilogies, he is just generic hero. All right, and
Yeah.
then we have the final one of the video.
Oh.
My time to shine. Anytime you're not playing a Sly in his games, it's incredibly boring. The Jak series never should have added guns. So this has got a two-parter.
I
I'm going to go
disagree
with the
with the
first
Jak
one.
series.
And
It
I
should
tend to
should not
agree.
end with
I
God.
really disliked playing as Murray and Bentley in Sly 2. It was fun at the start, but as the game really progressed,
I
I
like playing as
disliked
them.
having to switch between them. And I think it might have been because of the world design was made. But where I disagree with this is in Sly Cooper 3. I actually really enjoyed playing as Bentley and Murray in Sly Cooper 3. And I think
Yeah,
that
man.
personally, that whole thing comes down to the map design. I think that Sly 3's maps were better for all of the other characters included, not just Sly Cooper. And then also the second point here, the Jak series never should have added guns. I think that this is probably an unpopular opinion. I can see what you're saying. It really would have been fun to go down the route of what would have just happened if they didn't do GTA things. Yeah, I think that's probably an unpopular opinion to say the Jak series should never have added guns, but it is a cool thought. All right, those were some
Conclusion.
of your unpopular Jak, Ratchet, and Sly opinions. And I know I didn't get to all of them because
I
a
really
lot
like
of them
that.
were also
Like the
repeated
PlayStation
in the
logos
comments.
and the
I actually
PS2
had a
in the
lot of
background.
fun
It's just
reading
I
through
like
them. So
that.
if you want to see another video like this in the future, let me know in the comments down below.
Hey,
Also,
man,
let me know
subscribe to
which
the
opinion
band.
you agreed with most or which one you thought was just a terrible take. If you
Subscribe to Dan, please. I might as well put a link on there too for him. so people will know who he is. That's everybody unpopular opinions. I mostly disagree with them, but some of them I agree. I see what you guys coming from. But yeah, that's the video of it. I don't know what to say for the outro, to be honest. I really don't know what to say after this video. Yeah, I guess y'all opinion sucks. I guess. So, anyways, if you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You see more content like this. I'm pretty tired. I was gonna react to like some flat life video, but I don't know, man. I get tired of talking now. Golly. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, my clears.